My name is Patty Pennick, and I am the Assistant Director and Head of Youth Services at the Goffstown Public Library. And one of the things I am super passionate about is play as it pertains and connects with early literacy for children. I am a strong believer that kids need to get dirty, they need to be creative and spontaneous in their play. And to that end, we have introduced this lovely mud kitchen. If you have not heard of a mud kitchen before, it is essentially an outdoor play kitchen for children. Our mud kitchen was generously paid for by the Friends of the Goffstown Public Library, and we are very grateful to them for that. We at the library have provided some supplies, which essentially are this blue bucket filled with dirt. Normally there is a container of water here. We strive to bring it out every morning. So as families come and go, there is fresh water for the children to mix the dirt with the water to create their concoctions. We have measuring spoons, measuring cups, spatulas, of course, because if you're going to make a mud cake, you will want to flip your mud cake. And I have included this lovely laminated recipe for mud pies. And just in case you want to do it at home, the instructions are as follows. Mix together 1 cup of dirt with a 1/2 cup of water. Stir and add more water slowly if needed. Add in 2 to 3 twigs, 1 to 2 leaves ripped into very small pieces, so we get that fine motor work in, and 1 acorn if available. Mix and form into a pie shape and enjoy. This old family recipe of mine will be inside the blue bin with the dirt, and we've already had lots of little fans and their families here to enjoy the mud kitchen. Please come down and check it out and enjoy it. It will be open anytime, and if the only thing is, if the library is closed, bring your own water, please.
Hi, Natalie here. I'm the Tech Services Librarian at Goffstown, and today I am going to talk about some of my favorite true crime books. So my fiance and I have been on an unsolved mysteries binge. It's lasted about a month, and we're still going strong. In case you didn't know, you can get all the unsolved mysteries with the famous Robert Stack on Prime, and they're free. And so we're doing that, and it's really fun. So I'm going to talk about a few books. 2 of them I have read. 2 of them I have not. But The Gardner Heist is about the real thefts of art at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston. And I believe that was in the 80s. I could be wrong. It could have been the 90s. It was 1990. 2 men stole a lot of famous artworks, including a Vermeer, I believe, from Isabella Stewart Gardner. They also made a miniseries, like a docu-miniseries about this, I believe on Netflix, but the book was excellent. And as you can see from the cover image, they've left all of the frames that paintings were stolen out of, they've left them empty so that you can see exactly what was taken, and it's definitely a statement. But this is one of the most beautiful museums I've ever been to. So if you have not explored the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, I would highly recommend it. And this book, which is by Ulrich Boser. All right. Next, I'll talk about this one, which I haven't read, but I have knowledge of one of the people that it's written about. So Savage Appetites, 4 True Stories of Women, Crime, and Obsession by Rachel Monroe. One of the 4 women she talks about is Frances Glessner Lee, who was originally from Chicago, but she lived here, actually in Bethlehem, New Hampshire, with her family on the Rocks Estate. Now, I don't know if anyone is familiar with the Rocks Estate, but you can get your Christmas trees there, and that's where my fiance and I get our Christmas tree every year. Anyway, Frances Glessner Lee was this little old woman when she became famous for basically being the grandmother of forensic science. She recreated murder scenes in miniature. They were basically dollhouse rooms with dollhouse people, and everything was exactly like it was at the scene of the crime. And forensic scientists, early ones, studied these. They were called the nutshell studies of unexplained death, and they studied them to learn about crime scene investigation. I believe the dioramas are still in existence and still used, and I think they're at Harvard, but I could be wrong about that. Anyway, this book talks about women and their obsession with true crime, and one of the 4 women they profile is Frances Glessner Lee. All right. Then we've got the library book by Susan Orleans, and I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with her. She is a very famous author, and this book was really cool. It was about the Los Angeles library fire, which was actually arson. And she goes in depth in this book about the person, the arsonist, and his whole background and why he did it. And he's a crazy story unto himself. But then the library fire was insane. You learn like how they saved some of the books, as many as they could, but a lot were lost. And the tangents that she goes down in this book are fantastic and really interesting and will hold your attention. Lastly, I have Murder and Mayhem, True Crime in New Hampshire. So I'm sure a lot of you are aware that we are home to the first serial killer, so-called, in the United States at least. H.H. Holmes, I believe was his name. Could have been A.A., but I think it was H.H. Can't remember now. Anyway, he, I believe, was from Gilmanton and was a serial killer. So he's profiled in here along with a bunch of other New Hampshire true crimes. This follows the years 1883 to 1915. So if you're a fan of the Bear Brook podcast, Bear Brook would not be in here. It's a little too recent. So anyway, if you enjoy true crime like my fiance and I do, then you might enjoy these books. Bye.
Hi, this is Caroline Kenny. I'm the head of adult services here at the Goffstown Public Library, and I'm here to talk to you about a program that we have going on at the beginning of August. We have Don Simmons from Simmons University talking about artificial intelligence. He'll be talking about how AI shows up in our daily life, how it works, and what the ethical concerns with it are. So registration is required to receive the meeting link. Please do that on our calendar on our website. We look forward to seeing you there.
Hi, readers. I am coming to you with my next 5-star book for 2025. As you may remember, I rate the books I read from 0 to 5. 5 is always best. And then at the end of the year, I publish my whole list so that you have a reading list to start off the new year. This book is titled Go as a River, written by Shelley Reed, was her debut novel, and it's considered to be historical fiction. It's based in the extinct town of Iola, Colorado. And Iola was a town that was dismantled to make way for the Blue Mesa Reservoir. So, and right now they're even talking about how in the drought situation they're in, they can see remnants of the town appearing from the lake, which is pretty cool in my book. So I've been recommending this book to everybody, and that's why I don't have one to show you. So you'll have to go in the catalog and place a request for it so you can read it. As always, it's a beautifully written book. And the best parts of this book are the character development. Even the minor characters are developed very well. And that's what I find interesting in books and makes a book hard for me to put down, as if I like the characters. And these characters are great, with a few exceptions that you will find out when you read the book. Also, this story will pull at your heartstrings. There's a lot of emotion in this book, which is also a characteristic I really like in my favorite books. So take a look at Go as a River by Shelley Reed. please let me know how you like it. I would love to talk to you about it.
Thanks for watching. Stay in the know. You can subscribe to the library's monthly email newsletters at goffstownlibrary.com/subscribe, and you can unsubscribe at any time.